What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Minute on the Mountain. I'm on my way down to Las Vegas to speak at a conference that I do once every 3 months, and I've got room in my schedule to hike for about 2 hours, maybe more like an hour and a half. We'll see if we can get 2 out of it. I'm in a little stretch of hills on some BLM land I've never been to before. I've always passed by here on the drive and wondered if it'd be worth shed hunting it. So we're going to spend about an hour and a half here and see what we see. I have not seen really any sign yet. I mean, no droppings at all, and only like 1 or 2 sets of tracks. So we're probably not in a very good area, but you know, that's how you find out. You got to try new places sometimes. The wildflowers have been beautiful, man. The high desert's in bloom right now. So I'm going to play some footage of that, just some of the different types of wildflowers that I've seen so far. And then hopefully next time you see my ugly mug, it's because we're holding a shed. Thanks for coming along. You're not going to see it in this GoPro, guys, but about probably 1,200 yards out in that clearing, there's a cow elk just working its way across. I thought I saw a couple of elk tracks in here. So when I started this hike, I had zero expectations. I wasn't seeing any sign, you know, no droppings, no tracks. I thought, well, that's all right, I'll still get a hike in. Then I got around on the northwest side of this hill. I started seeing more and more deer sign, all deer tracks, all deer poop. And then just in the last 15 minutes, I crossed a couple of tracks. I thought, gosh, that might be elk tracks. Sure enough, of course, she just dropped down into that gully, so you can't see her now. I'll see if I can get a little closer, and if she pops back up, we might be able to see her. But she's just gonna be a dot in this GoPro. But it'll be cool to watch her anyway. Let's come out here and check her out a little bit. That's a shed bull running. Again, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it in the GoPro. Oh man, now they're all coming out. They got spooked. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know they're not showing up, guys. Sorry. Man, that's so cool though. Well, I was going to go to a different place on my way back home, but maybe I'll come back over here on this side of the freeway after all. I almost said earlier that the lizards are out, which is cool. I like lizards, but the bad thing about the lizards being out is that means it's warm enough for the snakes to be out. Now luckily that's non-poisonous. That's some guys call them blow snakes, gopher snakes. And I wouldn't say like I think I have a healthy fear of snakes. They don't really freak me out too bad, but especially the non-poisonous ones, I don't mind them. He won't bother me, I won't bother him. Good morning, guys. We are about an hour into this hike, about 2 miles into it, and not a lot of sign. The other side of the freeway where I hiked on the way down definitely looked like it had more activity. I'm seeing some tracks, I'm seeing some droppings, not a ton, and a mixture of deer and elk. I've seen some elk tracks up in here, some deer tracks, but again, not a lot. But I got about 3 hours left. I'm gonna go about 2 hours in and then 2 hours back. Let me flip this around. So I'm going to keep skirting the ridge I'm on, drop down, and go up opposite here and up to that peak over there. That's the plan. And then loop back down and around a different way down. So hopefully we'll get into something. If not, it'll just end up being a great walk in the mountains and in a new area. I have never hiked here. That's one of the things I have enjoyed about this Utah 29 shed tour, even though I'm not finding as many sheds as when I used to just go to the same places every time. I've seen so much new country, so many cool places. So wish me luck. We made it to the top of the ridge I wanted to get to, so we're at the end of the hike. We're going to turn around and start heading back. Way out there across the valley is the interstate. This bush in front of me with the yellow flowers, I'm not much on the flora, so somebody else can identify it. Man, I love how they smell. They've got the sweetest smell. It's one of the things I love about hiking in central and southern Utah in the spring. We don't have those bushes up in Logan. I don't ever see those yellow flowered bushes in Logan. There's a close one right here. But they just have such a sweet smell to them. Fills the whole air, man. It's awesome. Having a little snack. Jack Link's peppered beef jerky. Get some water in me. And then we're going to start heading back. It's going to be a loop. I'm not going to go back the same way. So obviously we have as much chance of finding something on the way out as we did on the way in. But so far we're getting shut out. Let's see if he'll stay there long enough to get close. All right, everybody, let's wrap this video up with the channel shout out and the Minute on the Mountain. The channel that I want to shout out tonight is Mullis Outside Again. He's got a great channel, a little bit of everything, some fishing, some hunting. He just did a squirrel salad video, which was a really cool video. I've only eaten squirrel once, and I have to confess I didn't really care for it, but that was probably me. I basically shot it, cooked it over a campfire in the mountains, and put ramen noodles seasoning on it. So I'm sure if I would have prepared it better, I would have enjoyed it more. Maybe I'll have to try it again. But anyway, I'll put a link in the description to his channel. Check him out when you have some time and tell him Minute on the Mountain sent you. The Minute on the Mountain tonight comes from Haggai. The book of Haggai only has 2 chapters. I'm going to read out of chapter 1, beginning in verse 2. It says, "This is what the Lord Almighty says. These people say the time has not yet come to rebuild the Lord's house." Then the word of the Lord came to the prophet Haggai. "Is it a time for you yourselves to be living in your paneled houses while this house remains a ruin? Now this is what the Lord Almighty says. Give careful thought to your ways. You have planted much, but you harvested little." And then he goes on to say things like, "You eat, but never get your fill. You drink, but you're always thirsty." And the reason they didn't have satisfaction, the reason God wasn't blessing them, is because they had neglected rebuilding the temple. So this is post-exile. A remnant has come back from Babylon, back to Jerusalem, and they've paid way more attention to rebuilding their homes than they have the temple of the Lord. Now, it's a little different for us to apply that today. You know, obviously God's temple now is us. The Holy Spirit resides in us as believers. But it did just make me think, you know, how often do I prioritize building my kingdom than trying to build God's kingdom? How often are my thoughts about my wants and my desires compared to asking God what he wants and what he desires? So my encouragement for you guys and my challenge to me and you is let's be more mindful about God's kingdom than our own little kingdoms. So that's Minute on the Mountain, Haggai chapter 1. Thanks so much for coming along. Thanks for all your support, guys. We're at 1,079 subscribers, and we'll do another giveaway when we get to 1,100. So if you've been watching the channel a little bit, but you've never subscribed, do me a favor, please subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you join us, and we'll do that next giveaway when we get to 1,100. God bless you guys, and we will see you the next time we're out on the mountain.